Hello, welcome to Geekers Podcast, Episode 5.
I'm Tanner Battenfield.
And this is going to be a special episode. Even though, these are the episodes where we don't have a guest, decided to do a little thing that we're going to call Inside the Geekers Studio. And you want to tell them what that is, Tanner?
Well, we're just going to tell some stories that, some stuff that's happened to us that we think are funny and some good times in our lives. Because we were just sitting here talking about them and we thought we'd share them.
Oh, yes.
So,
and there have been some good ones, and I don't even really know where to start. Actually, I want to start at one of my favorite ones.
Uh-huh.
And it's the brawl.
The brawl?
Because I wasn't there for it, and I love hearing the story, and I wish I was there for it.
Yeah, okay, well, damn, the brawl has a lot of, it's like a fucking soap opera.
Yeah.
This brawl. So it's there's all this shit going on, so I don't have to remember it all, and put it out in a good way. Well, we always had a place, usually, throughout high school, and, even after high school, where we would party, and that would be my cousin Josh's house in Gardendale. And, we'd always party out there on the weekends and stuff, and, at one point, I think it was my senior year, and my sister was dating this guy who was on the college golf team, the Odessa college golf team. And he was foreign. He was from Dubai. And the golf team had, all kinds of guys from, foreign guys. Guys from Africa, guys from Scotland. And then there was one asshole from Dallas who will not be named. But,
Rest in peace.
Okay, there we go.
He didn't die from the brawl.
No, he didn't. But we were partying out there at Josh's, and Sadie, she was my sister. She was dating this guy on the golf team, and so he invited a bunch of his friends out there, and we're out there. Our friends, me, Mikey, Josh, Jake, and Brent, and then Eric was out there that night. And then there were all these dudes, these foreign guys, on the golf team, some guys from Mexico and stuff, and we're just all, having a good time, and I'm on this guy's name, or on this guy's team, and I was going to say, we won't say his name, but we'll just call him,
Fabio.
We'll call him Fabio. And so, I was on Fabio's beer pong team, and, we're, me and Fabio are doing badass. Me and Fabio are, whooping ass at beer pong, dude, and, people start getting drinks in them and stuff, and at one point, he has, he missed, or we lost or something, I forgot, and he, grabs my little cousin's, Josh's little brother, he grabs his bike, and just, chunks it, across the room, and, Josh's, wife now, his girlfriend then, Rachel, she walks up to, Fabio, and she's like, yo, you can't be throwing around fucking little kids' bikes. That's fucked up, Fabio. And again, it's not the real Fabio. But, Maybe, yeah. Could be. This might be Fabio where you're talking about, actually. But, no, he starts saying all this shit, and he calls her a bitch. And Josh is he hears that, and he's like, no, you can't. He walks up to him, he's like, you can't be saying that shit to my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And we can, Fabio. Fabio's like, nah, fuck that shit. And Josh is like, nah, get the fuck out. You gotta leave. You gotta leave now. And he's like, that's fucking stupid. Fabio, he's a pissed shit. Josh is like, get the fuck out. And so he's leaving. Fabio's leaving. And as he's leaving, he picks up the cat and throws the cat. Enrique, yeah, sure. The cat's name, I think his actual name was Mojo.
Enrique Iglesias.
He just picks this cat up and throws it. And then that pisses Josh, Rachel, Josh's girlfriend Rachel, off even more because she loves animals. So she's pissed at that. And she's like, oh, you motherfucker. And he's just still calling her a bitch. And Josh is like, get the fuck out of here. And I see he's talking shit to Josh. And that guy's like, he's like, oh, you're scared or something like that to Josh. And Josh is like, I've never been scared a day in my life. And just starts walking over there. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that motherfucker. And Fabio's like, who the fuck said that? Who the fuck said that? And I was like, I said it. And he was like, oh, no, you're cool. We were partners. He really said that. I was like, okay, whatever. And so, like, he starts walking to the car, like the truck, and he rode out there with this girl he was dating.
Jennifer
Aniston. Okay. And they get to the car, and he's just still talking shit. And, like, Josh walks up to the girl he came with.
Jennifer Aniston.
The girl. Okay, he walks up to Jennifer Aniston, and he's like, yo, you gotta get in the car, get Fabio the fuck out of here. Because he's causing a fucking stir. And she's like, okay, I'm trying, blah, blah, blah. But she's sitting in her car, and she's, like, not backing the fucking car out. She's not backing up. And, like, me, Mikey, and Eric, we're all sitting in this circle, and Brent, and then Jake walks up, and Jake's like, should I do something? And I was about to say, probably not, but I was like, probably, and then, like, Jake's already walking. He's already going to the car. And I was like, oh, shit. So we start walking that way. And he's just sitting there yelling shit. He has his window rolled down. Fabio does. And he's just yelling shit out the window. Like, all this shit. And Jake just walks up and starts sticking him through the window. Like, hardcore style. I was like, oh, that's some of the coolest shit I've ever seen. And he's just hitting him through the window. And Josh is like, oh, my God. And then fucking Fabio opens the car door, gets out. And instead of going for Jake, who was just hitting him, he goes for Josh. And he runs up and tries to start throwing him with Josh. And Josh, like, hits him and then, like, picks him up and throws him down. And when that happened, why we call it the brawl is because an all-out brawl happened. As soon as that happened, we were like, oh, fuck. And then all these golfers, like the fucking...
all these foreign golfers.
All these foreign golfers start running at us. And...
the United Nations just comes at y'all.
And fucking Andy's trying to, like, stop people from fighting. Andy is my sister's boyfriend at the time, who she was dating. And there was, like, some confusion because my sister started grabbing Mikey and holding him back, trying to get him not to fight.
Yeah.
And Andy thinks that Mikey's, for some reason, yelling at Sadie, saying shit to Sadie. And so he runs up, and, like, I didn't know he had it in him. But he, like, judo throws Mikey to the ground. He's like, adult! Like, some shit, man. Like, I'm an adult! And he's like, calm down. And fucking Mikey's like, what the fuck, man? He, like, gets up. And Mikey's like, what the fuck? And as he's saying that, Greg, who is from Africa, where exactly were they from? I remember them saying, I used to know it all the time.
All I know is Andy's from Dubai.
Yeah, Andy's from Dubai.
And then they're from... Kenya?
Kenya, that's what it was. They were from Kenya.
Yeah.
And Greg, Andy's friend from Kenya, runs up because he thinks Mikey's talking shit to Andy and he grabs Mikey and just starts hitting him in the back of the head. And I see that and I'm like, no, fuck that. So I run up and I push Greg off of him. But Greg's my friend, so I wasn't trying to fight him or anything. And I push Greg and I'm like, whoa. I was like, cool, that's fucking Mikey. And then Ganeve, who is... Greg's friend, who also lived in Kenya, or is from Kenya, thinks I'm fighting Greg. So he runs up and starts shoving me, and, like, all this shit, and, like, he's shoving me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Ganeve, I don't want to fight you, because I knew him, too. And I was like, I don't want to fight you, Ganeve, I don't want to fight you. And he's like, no, fuck you, pushing me. And I was like, all right. And I just fucking hit him once, and he just dropped, like, right in the front yard. And I was like, okay. And so I started walking off. And that's when Brent... runs up and starts holding me back. Like, no, don't go in there anymore. It's like, why aren't you fucking helping us, motherfucker? We're outnumbered here. And he's like holding me back, and he's like, no, Tanner, quit. And as he's doing that, that Ganeve dude gotten up, and he runs up and hits me in the back of the head. And then he runs behind Brent, like 10 yards behind Brent, and he's yelling like, ah, ha, ha, I fucking hit you, blah, 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 all this shit. And I was like, oh my God, like, Brent, let me at him. I was fucking pissed. And then you just see Mikey run in and, like, sliding on the gravel, fucking hits Ganeve in the face, man.
Like an anime.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome. And, like, eventually, like, some of these dudes had just piled in their cars, and some of them left, and then there was still, like, Ganeve talking all this shit and all these other guys that we were trying to get rid of. And the whole time there were these two guys from Mexico who were on the golf team. And they were just sitting back drinking their beers. And, like, Josh walked up and he was like, are you guys cool? And, like, they're like, yeah. sorry about all this. Josh is like, no, that's cool. Runs over and, like, I think starts hitting someone. But yeah, it was pretty crazy, and Brent was useless.
God. Alright, so I guess it's probably my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
Anything that you want to bring up?
I want to hear about the time you and John and Danny and whoever else went into Phil's. He let y'all trip in his house.
So Phil McDaniel, the guy who edits all our podcasts, the guy who's been my best friend since I was 5, he lets me and these guys named John, Danny, and Shay go into his house because his mom's out of town. And I'm 16 at the time, and those guys are like 14 or 15. And I call Phil and I'm like, yeah, dude, we're tripping balls on Robitussin right now, and we need a place to go. And he's like, well, just go to my house. He's like, just go in through the window and don't fuck anything up. And I was like, thank you, man. And so we do that. We go in through the window, and like we're not tripping too hard yet. And then like I'm just sitting there on my phone for a little bit, and then a little bit became an hour and a half, and I look up, and there's paper everywhere, like everywhere, and there's toilet paper rolls like going along the house. And I go and I find John and Danny, and they're in the mirror just looking at their eyes, and they're like, come in here. And so I go in there and I look at my eyes, and I start tripping out just like them. And I'm just, so
like
it's
frozen in it.
It's just 3 guys, all with long hair and tight clothes, just looking into their souls, finding out everything about themselves.
Good
and
gosh.
then while that's going on, I don't know where the fuck Shay is. And so I think we might have been in that bathroom for another hour.
Good God.
And we go and we're like, let's find Shay. And Shay has made foil hats, like in the movie Signs. He made foil hats. And like there was a bunch of foil everywhere that were like the test subjects that didn't make it. And then he finally had the precise one on his head. And he was like, he looks at us, and he's like in like feral position, like, ah. But he's not doing that, but just like, you know, arms out, like about to attack. And he's like, you guys need them. They're gonna get us. And I was like, who? And he points, and I look, and there's this Halloween costume that Phil's had like for years. It was just like on his door, and it glow in the dark skeleton mask while we're all tripping balls on cough syrup. So we see it, and I scream and I run under the bed, and then they all start making their foil hats, and I poke my head out, and they put a foil hat on me. And so I felt like I was safe to come out. And so we're all looking at it and we're talking shit. And we're just like, yeah, fuck you, you suck. You're a fucking piece of shit. And then so we go into his brother's room because there's a computer in there. And we're like, we're going to put on techno music. So we put on techno music, and then we start turning on like the lights on and off. And so we're like having like a little rave in there. And then John out of nowhere finds some Taco Villa hot sauce packets. And so I'm in there dancing, and the next thing I know is I get hit in the eye with a Taco Villa hot sauce packet.
Just a drunk kid or a fucked up kid on cough syrup throwing taco. Taco sauce.
Yeah. So I get the taco sauce in my eye, and I swear to God, like my eyes close, and I see a little vision of a thermometer just like going up and breaking. And I was like, ah! And I scream, and I run into the bathroom, and I'm washing it off, and then I come out, and I'm just like throwing everything, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why would you do that to a person? And like I go in there and I grab a sock and I start cleaning one spot of the wall for probably 2 hours
with a sock.
Yeah, and I thought I cleaned the whole wall.
Dirty sock?
Thing. Yes, not my sock.
Not your sock.
And I thought I got the whole wall, which leads into where we left about 6 in the morning at some point. And, you know, we go to my house and we're done tripping. And then the next day goes along, and I get a call from Phil, and you're with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, what the fuck happened? So tell me what y'all saw when y'all went into the house.
I don't remember what we were going there for.
Because I thought I cleaned it.
No, dude. We walked in there, and I don't remember what we were going in there for, but, like, we walked in there, and there's, like, paper, like Kleenex paper and like toilet paper, ripped up, all just like placed throughout the living room and shit. And we found, we go like walk through the house. We found y'all's fucking foil hats, and we were like, "What the fuck was going on?" And then we walk in and like, Phil, like now he knows shit happened, so now he's gonna find everything that went wrong. So he walked into like Tim's room and he saw all the fucking hot sauce on the wall and on the blinds, and he was like, "There's fucking hot sauce. There's taco sauce all over my fucking walls."
And he found the sock.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he told me, he's like, and they tried to clean it with a sock.
Dude, yeah. I think he found a dump in the toilet, too.
Yes. I apologized, and
pretty fucked up.
And he cleaned it up. I think I helped him, yeah. Maybe. I don't know. It got cleaned before his mom got back in town. So here's to Phil.
Here's to Phil.
Who edits the podcast.
Dude, it reminded me, one thing happened when you said y'all had to climb in through the window.
Yeah.
Well, one time I remember me and him were, we had gone to lunch, and then we were like, yeah, we don't want to go back to our next period. And so, like, we had climbed into his mom's house through that window. And we were there for a bit, and one of his neighbors or someone called the cops and said that some kids had broken in to the house. And it was like, his neighbors are fucked up. They obviously know Phil or something.
Yeah.
They've seen him there. But, so, yeah, the cops knock on the door, and, like, we're there, and Phil's like, "It's the cops." And I was like, fuck. And so he opens it, and he's like, "Hey," they're like, "We got a call that someone broke into the window." And Phil's like, "Oh, no, it's my mom has the only key, and so we leave this window unlocked, and that's how I get inside and unlock the door." And he was like, "Okay." And he's like, "Do you have any proof that this is your home?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like the guy asked if he had any pictures of him on the like fridge or anything."
Yeah.
They didn't have any fucking pictures of him on the fridge or anything. And so like Phil has to go into his room and like look through all this shit to find like a piece of paper from school with his name on it or a piece of mail or something. And he finds it and like gives it to him. And they're like, "Okay." And they left. It just reminded me because of that.
Oh my God.
Going through the window.
Fucking, yeah, his neighbors are like these really conservative Christians, and actually the father of like the one home like is the one that we know for sure called. He's like the principal of junior high now.
Oh shit.
Yeah. You remember whenever you used to take me to junior high?
Yeah.
You'd be going out and like, you drop me off, and I'd walk up there and like people would be like, "Oh, it's Tanner. What's up, Tanner?" And some people would be like, "Who's that?" I'd be like, "That's my high school friend."
That's my high school friend.
I'm his age actually, but I'm doing the never been kissed thing. I'm here.
Fuck.
Do you remember the time at Tyler's house?
Yes. I know exactly what time you're talking about.
Yes. Alright, so the characters in this story will be me, Tanner, our friend Tyler.
Not the Tyler Radaball that we interviewed.
Yes, this guy's name's Tyler Washington. And these girls' characters will be called...
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell, and... Because
there's another one. I know. I'm just trying to... I'm trying to think on a better level of Rosie O'Donnell. Roseanne Barrs.
Rosie O'Donnell and Roseanne Barrs. All right. So now I get to choose who is who because...
Yeah, you get to decide.
Yeah, because I wouldn't do one to the other.
Okay. I'm just trying to remember. I don't remember, like, most of the things that happened that night. Like, beforehand, before leading up to,
It was my birthday.
Okay.
It was my birthday, and, it was my party, and I'll cry if I want to, and I got really drunk.
Yeah, dude. Oh, shit. I remember at one point you fucking got pissed because they wouldn't give you your phone back or something.
Yep.
And so you fucking run out the back door, hop the fence, and then just start running down the street. And you ran like fucking like Pee Wee Herman would run or something. Like you had a very funny run.
And like I could hear y'all just laughing, and I was like, "Fuck them! I'm gonna keep going. I don't need them." And then like I was like, "I need my phone." So I just walked back.
Yeah, like I was like, "Oh, he'll come back." So I was like, "How do you know that?" And I was like, "They have his fucking phone. he wants that. I'd come back for my fucking phone."
But yeah, and so the night's going on, and those girls are just pissing me off.
Yeah, they're laying into Dustin.
And it's my birthday.
Yeah, and they're just talking shit.
And I'm real drunk. And so I go and get the idea.
I bet people are like, "Did he fucking punch one?"
No,
like,
no.
They're thinking right now, they're like, "He says he's drunk. They were being bitches on his birthday.
Is this party he'll cry if he wants?"
Is he going to tell us where we can find the bodies?"
So yeah, I fucking shot him. No, so yeah, and I go into the other room to cool down, and then like I don't get the chance to cool down because I just see my weapon, a bottle of lotion, and I squeeze an ungodly amount of lotion into my hand.
A lot of lotion.
A lot of lotion. And so I run up and I look right at Rosie O'Donnell, and I say something along the lines of like, "You like some lotion, bitch?" And just throw it at her.
He just hit her in the face. And it's like when someone gets hit in the face with a pie, but with lotion. You can lick the pie off.
Yeah, oh my god. So
you don't want to lick that lotion.
And then so this girl, goes down like a champ, like a champion actor. Just fucking...
Oh yeah, just puts her hand to her face and acts like, "Oh," and starts crying.
And then that's like, okay, so that happened, like lotion, and then 2 seconds pass by, and then she's crying like an actress, and then 2 more seconds pass by, and I'm getting knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, by Roseanne.
Yeah.
She's pissed because you threw lotion in Rosie's face.
Yeah. Roseanne is just boxing. Roseanne Barrs is just boxing me.
Yeah.
Dude, just hitting me in the face. And I'm not doing anything, I'm just like, I can't hit you,
like,
Roseanne.
You're like, "Get off me, Roseanne. You got knuckles like a man, but you're not."
So yeah, I'm just sitting there getting punched by Roseanne Barrs, and then, like, I do the only thing I think I can do.
No.
No, that's not it?
I don't think that happened yet.
Okay, well then she starts choking me.
Yeah, that started happening before.
Okay, then she starts choking me, and she's saying, "Apologize!" And, like, Tanner's sitting there laughing.
Yeah, I'm laughing the whole time.
And our friend Tyler's like, "Dude, just apologize, and they'll all be over. Just apologize, and they'll leave."
Yeah, and... Like Dustin's trying to get her off her, and she's like, like an MMA fighter. She's all over him, just putting him in different headlocks. I think she might have thrown an armbar in there at one point, man. Like, she's getting at him, and like, she keeps saying like, "Apologize, apologize." And he's like, "No." She's like, "Apologize." He's like, "No." And then like she like throws him down, like on his stomach, because I think she had him like on his back. Throws him down on his stomach, gets him like on top of him, and gets him in a headlock. And she's like, "Apologize." and then no, it just silence. Cut. Just calls her cut. Just like, "Apologize." Just a little silence. Cut.
And like I'm choking.
Yeah, like he's getting choked out. That's why it sounds like that.
Like.
That's like she gets up, and you get up, and she starts swinging again, and then that's when
I do the only thing I think I can do, and I just push to get her away from me, and that's whenever she falls. But Tanner, what happens?
Okay, she falls. He pushes her. He shoves her, and she fucking gets cow tipped by the coffee table, and there's a couch, right behind the coffee table. But there's a little space in between for your legs. So she falls right in there and sinks in, and she gets folded up like a fucking lawn chair.
Yeah.
Like, she just, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's folded up, and she's like, "You motherfucker!" Like, just fucking Roseanne in a lawn chair position, just yelling, "Fucker!"
Yeah. And, like, a lot of the problems started because me and Roseanne fucked one time.
Yeah.
And it was my birthday, and I thought it could happen again because I was like 16.
Yeah, and she was like,
And that caused a lot of problems. But then she started being a bitch.
Yeah, she started being really rude.
And then, like, her friends started, fucking Rosie O'Donnell started being a bitch.
Yeah, and to be honest, dude, I was bored most that night until you fucking slapped lotion into her face.
And you know what? Years later, like, just last year, 2013, I made out with Rosie O'Donnell.
The girl you threw lotion in the face
Yeah.
of.
Rosie O'Donnell and me, she came over to my house and we cuddled and made out. So...
Very nice.
Very nice.
Just, okay, kids, that goes to show you can throw lotion in a girl's face, and then a couple years to come, she'll fucking make face with you.
And I trained Roseanne at Sonic whenever I was working there.
Really?
She quit 2 days later.
Yeah, because she probably had flashbacks. Being trapped in there. I didn't help her out.
She hated it at Sonic, actually.
Oh.
We talked about it. We never talked about what happened, though.
Yeah, that never got brought up, huh?
No.
Can't see why it would.
We pretty much treated each other like they were like, Roseanne, this is Dustin. Dustin, this is Roseanne. And I was like, what's up? And she was like, how's it going? It's how the game of life works.
Yeah. Sometimes you act like you don't know a fucking person.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
I love that story, though. That one is always brightens my day when I remember it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I remember how much joy I felt.
Do you remember the night of my birthday where we all did Robitussin for, like, the first time?
I do.
Oh, my God. And let's just say right now, this is the first time in my life my mom's ever let me have a birthday party.
Let's just throw this out there. My mom sucks.
No. Well, yes, but... The thing is, she's never trusted me, of course, And
Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like,
I get it.
All right,
I don't trust you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't trust me.
Yep, well.
Hide your kids.
Oh.
But, yeah, so my mom apparently hid a video camera.
Yeah, we didn't know about that.
Yeah, it was in the plant.
Yeah, so, like, dude, please tell me. I would pay her to get my hands on that.
She apparently doesn't have it anymore, which makes me upset.
Yeah, I would love to watch it.
Because she, like, the next morning was asking me, like, so what was this in your hand? What was this going on? Why were y'all doing this?
Got my dick in my hand.
Alright, so yeah, so I have a gang of people there. And it's me, Tanner, a guy named Danny, John, Phil, Jordan, Shay, and Dylan. But Dylan left early.
Oh, yeah.
But we all go in a chain, like we all hold hands and skip down the street where we're filling up the whole neighborhood streets to go to the store, and we're singing about getting Robitussin to get fucked up. And we get there, and we steal a ton of fucking Robitussin.
A lot.
Like I'm pretty sure everyone stole some. I think.
I didn't. I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. You guys do it for me.
Yeah.
So, everyone took like more than enough.
Yeah. I mean, and then we found more Robitussin at my house. That's for later. So we take all the Robitussin, and we used to go to this elementary school by my house, and that's where we did all our drugs.
Yeah, At the time, it seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, it seemed like the best idea because we were like, well, if a cop comes, we'll just run this way and that way.
Yeah. You can't trap us.
No.
Totally could have trapped us. The fucking playground is like a jail yard. You know what I mean?
But we got the idea. We're like, we'll go smoke our cigarettes on the slide, smoke weed in the side of the buildings.
We did many of times.
Oh, yeah. We smoked sometimes just in the middle of it, and we did that night.
Yeah.
We all sat in a circle and got high.
Wow. One of the first times we ever just sat down in a circle.
And then whenever we get back to my house, finally, here's what my mom saw in the video. She saw all of us on the couch at one point, just all under one blanket.
Is that when we were watching The Matrix?
That's when we were watching The Matrix. And she's like, y'all were just sitting there for so long. I had to fast forward it. Because we were watching the fucking Matrix.
Yeah.
And, I just wanted to say, bitch, how long do you think it was for us?
Fuck, dude. Days.
Yeah, and then we go into my room, and Jordan is the only person sober.
Yes, there was one guy who didn't take it.
And he happened to be a damn good guitar player.
Mm-hmm.
So he's sitting there playing, like, Pink Floyd riffs and stuff and just, like, making us all chill out. And then he starts playing Slayer, and we all get really upset.
Yeah.
But Tanner's gone at this point, and I don't know where he is. And I think he might have been looking in the mirror, because that happens.
That I did do that night, so that's a good alibi for where I was at that point.
Well, then he comes in, he kicks open the door, and he throws a tennis ball. Well, no, we hear, "You don't know the theory of a tennis ball," and he throws it. And then he plops down on the bed.
Yeah.
And we're all just sitting there like, we don't know the theory of a tennis ball. He's right.
Made you think, man.
It did. And then we all said, "What were you doing?" And so you took us into the bathroom. And we were all in there for a while. And then we noticed that Phil was gone. And I'm sitting there like looking for Phil. And I'm like, what the hell? And so I go...
I know it's coming.
And I go into my parents' room. And I'm like, oh, he might be in the bathroom. So I open up the bathroom door, and I smell the worst things I've ever smelled in my life. And I just see Phil sweating on the pot, like, and bug-eyed, and he's staring at me and breathing like a dragon. And I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" And he's like, "Get out!" And it's my parents' room. They're asleep. And I'm just like, "What are you doing, dude? Why does it smell in here?" He's like, "Get out! Get out!" And so I do. You know, he finally comes out. He's like, "I'm going to leave." And so he walks home.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he walked home.
Yeah. And then and then apparently the video goes on, and we're all sitting there dancing in the living room at one point. And then I find a big bottle of Robitussin in my house, and I'm just walking around, and we're all passing it around, chugging it.
Dude, oh my god, how fucking dumb were we?
And then we got, we all started itching really bad. And
we're got the itchies.
Yeah, the itchy bugs is what
itchy
we called
bugs.
Them. We thought they were bugs.
That when you take too much Robo, they're like, that's not right. So they fucking terrorize you.
And then your sister came, and we found out through our Robo years that was the cure for the itchy bugs. Your sister scratching her head, because that night she showed up and she's scratching my head. Like, she scratches yours, and then she starts scratching mine, and then you're like, "Come scratch mine again." And then so I see that she has a hot friend in the car. An older friend, like some chick older than me, and I just jump in the car, and I'm like, "What's up?" That's the first time I did that.
That was Bailey Brittany.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I would smash the fuck out of her.
Because she brought up that time. She brought it up to Brent once at when we were doing like graduation rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brent was all talking to me, and then like we were having to get ready, so like he walked, to where he was gonna be sitting, and she was like near him, and she was like, "You know that guy?" And Brent was like, "Yeah," and she was like, "One time I went over with his sister to one of his friends' house, and they were all just fucking tripping out on cough syrup."
You don't know how many times, like, I bet people, they'll be like, there was this one time where you were on cough syrup.
Yeah.
You and Tanner Badenfield were just on cough syrup.
Good God.
Like the time that Tanner tried to cut off his own skin.
Yeah.
And I ran at him in slow motion, and Phil, who was sober, just ran up and said no and took the knife away.
Yeah.
And so me and Tanner get itchy.
And my sister worked at Bahama Bucks.
Which was not too far from my house.
It was like 10 blocks.
Yeah.
Which we used to walk all the fucking time back there.
Yeah. So we decided to walk there. And me and Tanner had a musical the whole way.
Yeah, dude. I think we sang about our voyage to Bahama Bucks.
Yeah. We're like, we're going to get scratched.
I want to say it wasn't just the drugs, but that was a damn good musical.
Oh.
Like, we were on point.
Oh, God.
Like, we
switching off.
Yeah, and like what we were saying was good, and the way we were singing.
And I swear to God, we had the same melody in our head.
Oh yeah, we just kept going, dude. It was like it can never be repeated.
No, never.
That's why we should have had something like this where we just had you recording in your pocket.
Oh God, but we didn't think back then. We were young and dumb.
We did cough syrup.
Yes. That was dumb.
I got a text. Who's texting this late?
Who would be texting a man at this hour?
I don't know. But did you have more to say about that story?
No, that's probably pretty much about it, I think. My mom found out that we were doing something.
Yeah.
I mean,
she never found out that we were on cough syrup?
Not that time. Every other time, yeah. I mean, because we were not hiding it.
Yeah, I think there was about because I didn't do it for that long. I did it for, I think, 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
I didn't binge it like I guess you guys had at one point, but I did.
Oh, well, I'm a drug addict.
Yeah, I'm a drug addict. You binged fucking Robitussin.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. God damn, you bastard, you worthless piece of shit. Is that what you want me to say?
No, I'm just saying I'm a drug addict.
Okay. I'm a drug addict. The drug is your love. That's a pickup line. Hey, I'm a drug addict. The drug is your love.
Oh
I could
my
sell
god.
That. Something Disney would use.
Oh god, yeah. Frozen 2.
Frozen 2. Oh yeah.
Instead of Josh Gad, they just get you.
Fucking okay. I had another story I was gonna say.
Well, what is it, man?
Oh, okay, I'll tell this one time. I think it's just really funny. There's not a lot of shit that goes on. There's just one really funny part to me, and it's in high school, I was on the theater team, which is production,
Yeah.
And so there were a lot of hot chicks in that, and so I became friends with a lot of hot chicks, and hot chicks who liked to party. So,
yeah.
And I smoked weed, so they were like, this guy. I made him laugh, and I got him high. So it's they were like, this guy rules.
Yeah.
And so they would hang out with me on the weekends sometimes. And I remember one time, it was when Jake was living with Andy at the apartments. And we'll say, Stevie, because Stevie's cool.
Yeah.
We'll say Stevie, and then we'll say...
Sarah Jessica Parker.
And then Penelope Cruz. Which Penelope Cruz doesn't have a lot to do with the story. She was kind of just drunk.
But Sarah Jessica Parker.
Sarah Jessica Parker is the main funny part of the story. So, okay, Stevie, and then Stevie, Sarah Jessica Parker, and Penelope Cruz...
walk into a bar.
Walk into my garage. And we smoke a bit, and then they're like, okay, well, we're going to go to this party for a bit, and then do you want to go to your cousin's where you said they were drinking? I was like, yeah. And so we go, and we try and find this party out, in Mission, where all these kids are partying or whatever, and I guess it got busted or something by his parents or by the cops or something. And so they're like, oh, okay, they're not partying anymore, so they're like, all right, let's just go to Jake's. So we go, they're already drunk. They had, drank. Before they went to my house.
Yeah.
And then I got them high. And so, we're going to Jake's, and we're going down the loop, which the loop here at one point it doesn't have anything but, a bunch of, a big field on both sides. And when we get to about that area of the loop, Sarah Jessica Parker is like, I need to pee. I'm like, okay, well, the apartment's not that far away. And she's like, no, I need to pee now. Stevie, pull over. So she has Stevie pull over. And, okay, well, here's something about Penelope Cruz. She was, fucking singing mad the whole time. Singing her heart out.
Oh, my God.
Drunk as hell while we were driving this car. But we pull over. Sarah Jessica Parker fucking takes a piss on the side of the loop, dude. And I'm just in the car you're not hearing her stream. You're not hearing her stream. You're not hearing her. You're fucking hearing her stream. It was bad, dude. And she got back in the car, and we fucking got to the apartment, and we, started drinking there with, Jake and my sister and Andy and some other people that were there, and they got, Sarah Jessica Parker was pretty drunk, and she got even drunker when we got there. And when it was time to leave and everything, she's like, okay, let's go. Stevie is. And I needed to help Sarah Jessica Parker out of the apartment because she's drunk. And at one point before, earlier in the party, she had gone outside to smoke a cigarette, and she fucking puked all right there on the patio part. And so as we're leaving and I'm helping her out, we're going, and she's like, hey, Tanner, look, that's my puke. And I was like, Yeah, that's some good-looking puke. Come on, you know, it's like hot Cheetos and shit, dude.
Oh my lord.
And fucking, she's drunk as hell. I help her down the stairs, and we get to the fucking car, and we start driving home, and she's like, you know, waving back and forth, drunk in the car, like just almost dead.
Yeah.
Just, her body's loose and shit. And Stevie takes like a turn or whatever, and she falls, and her head falls into my lap, and I'm just like. I have my hands up in the air, like I'm not touching her. I'm like, Stevie, I need some help. They're just like, look, just lift her up, And I was like, I don't want Sarah Jessica Parker to wake up and think I'm trying to cop a fill.
Yeah.
And so, like, Penelope Cruz leans back and helps me lean her up and shit. And then they drop me off, and I was like, oh my god. Like, this girl, you know, she was, like, popular at school and, like, all this shit. And so, like, yeah, you know, these popular girls get fucked up and shit. But I had never witnessed it totally. Like, I'd seen them get fucked up, but I had never seen one get, like, really shit-faced before this.
Yeah.
And, like, she was plastered, and it's like, oh, yeah, hot girls, they will throw up hot Cheetos. Like, they're not immune to that.
Did she, like, look at it and she's like, that's my throw up?
Yeah, I said that. She was like, that's my throw up. And I was like, yeah, it's some good looking throw up.
God damn it, dude. For some reason I thought, like, while she, like, you could hear her scream, she's gonna be like, you're gonna be like, I don't hear her scream, and she's gonna be like, Tanner, do you hear my scream?
I would have just been like, what?
You just throw up?
Hot Cheetos.
You didn't even have them?
Fuck. She's a witch. She just somehow put them in my body.
Is there any other stories you'd like to hear from me, good sir?
Well, I don't know. Tell me one.
I'm
trying to think of one.
I mean, there was that one we talked about earlier. Mine and Shay's drug binge.
The Blackout. Okay, yeah, okay.
Alright, yeah, so me and my friend Shay, we went on this little drug binge where, like, we were just doing, like, a lot of Xanax and Robitussin. It's, like, for, like, probably, like, 3 or 4 days. And, you know, we were hanging out with these girls and doing stuff with them. And, the thing is, I was with one and he was with the other. And, like, on the last day of it, you know, we go hard. Like, we do a lot of Robitussin. We take, like, a Xanax each. And then I remember we're at the mall. And then I remember being at the baseball field, which is a little bit away from the mall. And I remember being at this elementary school by Tanner's house, which is far as fuck from the mall.
Yeah,
like walking.
Yeah, from walking distance, it's pretty far.
Yeah, and so I'm just keep on blacking out, and like, you know, I'm hanging out with that one girl, and then Shay's hanging out with his girl, and then like, I come to at one point.
You just blacked out, right?
Yeah, I just black out completely, and then I come to, and I hear Shay yelling at me, like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit friend. And I see him and that girl walking, and I realize I'm making out with that girl that he was with and finger banging her. Just like, how did this situation come about?
Evil Dustin took over.
I don't know.
He put you in a good and bad situation.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously good for you wake up and, like, look what's happening. And then bad because your friend's yelling at you, fuck you, you're a bad friend.
Yeah, and so, you know, and then I remember, like, I was just like, well, I'm already here, like, you want to have sex? And this nasty girl. She goes, do you have a condom? And I was like, no, I don't. And she goes, there's one right there. And I look, and there's a condom on the ground, like a condom out of the wrapper. And I was like, I'm not going to use that. Like, even in this drugged out state, I'm not going to use that. And so I just, you know, make out there and finger bang her a little more.
Did you have 75 cents?
No.
Oh, I was about to say, you could walk to that 7-Eleven, dude.
Dude, I had a full hard-on, and I needed to get it out. And it happened. And then I called you.
And it happened. Okay.
Yeah, and then, you know, I walked her home, and then I called you. Or I think I walked her home. I don't know.
She lived by me.
Yeah, but I called you, and I was like, I need you to come get me, some shit just happened.
Yeah, I remember that.
And thank God you came and got me.
Oh shit!
And the whole time you were just like, how does that happen?
Yeah, I was like, how the fuck does that happen? That is bullshit.
I don't know. I used to have really good luck.
That's pretty fucking lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my lanty.
Yeah, you didn't even use a name for her, dude.
Oh,
You just called her.
Her name was
Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. Fuck yeah, I'd fuck the shit out of. I'd finger.
Well,
the
yeah,
shit out of.
you finger banged the shit out.
I did.
But you would the real one, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey. Hell yeah.
Even at her prime, which is now.
Even at her prime, like it's a bad thing. Even at her prime, which is now, which is old. That's how I like it.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh god.
I got to have sex with an older girl once, and it was pretty cool.
Like, okay, how old were you, and then how old was she?
I was 21. I believe was 25.
Really?
Yeah. So that was cool. I was just like, tight. Fuck yeah. And her name was fucking Parker Posey.
Parker Posey?
No, she wasn't Parker Posey. She was John Goodman. And I fucked the shit out of her.
Okay. You go from Parker Posey to John Goodman.
I wanted to fuck John Goodman.
Okay. Well,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
You did.
Even though, like, there's not much movie news, let's talk about something real quick. Because I would be sad if John Goodman died, but someone died today that makes me also sad.
Yes.
And everyone should, take a moment to just think about all the amazing things that this man did with film.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman died today at the age of 46.
Yeah, it's fucking...
I mean, you might not be listening to this on the, the day, but...
We recorded this the day that it happened.
Yeah. And, I love him.
Yeah, every time he came on screen, I was moved. Mm-hmm. Like, even Along Came Polly, like, he was fucking... he just made me laugh so much. And it's like, I saw him in Twister, when I was young as shit. 'Cause I don't remember exactly the year Twister came out, but, it's an older movie. And I saw him in it, and, like, when I'm watching it, I was like, that guy's fucking cool. Like, that guy's awesome. I was a little kid, and, like, so you're, like, more prone to be influenced by things when you're a little kid. And so, like, I liked being funny. Not just after seeing that. Like, there are other things, but, like, I remember seeing, like, that role of his has a big play in my life just because I like Twister. That's a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
But I always loved that character. I remember in that movie, I was like, don't die. Like, he was the character I picked out of the, you do that in movies where people die. You're like, you pick one out and you're like, just you don't die.
Yeah.
And he was my one for Twister.
That's a good one. I mean, yeah, like, I remember always, like, I never really had recognized him, but, like, I'd seen him in a lot of movies and stuff, and then you showed me Moneyball, and I was like, oh, that guy.
Yeah.
And, like, I fell in love with him there, and I was just like, oh, I need to see all this other stuff. And, like, I saw Mission Impossible 3 where, like, he plays the villain. And, like, that is one of, like, the best villain roles I've ever seen. And he was in the latest Hunger Games movie, and everything that I've seen from him about that was amazing.
Yeah, all in the trailers when I saw him doing, it was fucking awesome.
And it's just like...
He's in The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Ruled in that.
Yeah, they, Big Lebowski posted a picture.
Wasn't he in Boogie Nights?
I believe so. I mean, just did a lot of work in film, and even though he went out, a way that we don't approve of, it just sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, they found him, a friend found him with a syringe in his arm, and there was, they found 2 envelopes with heroin in it, and then 5 empty envelopes in the trash can. And, he was clean for a while, apparently, and it's like, the whole thing was, when these people relapse, they think that they can do the same thing, like the same amount.
Same amount. They can keep up like they did when they were doing it all the time. Yeah.
And so, I mean, just honestly, if you're listening to this, take some time out of your day to, like, just think about him. If you're a film fan, or anything, like, It just did a good person think about the fact that a really good person died.
Yeah, we lost one, a real good one today.
Too early.
Yeah.
So send off to him.
Yeah.
Back to the funny.
Back to the funny.
God.
Well, I mean, I can. Oh shit.
Oh.
I can tell the story about the one time I did all the shrooms out at Josh's.
Oh God. Are you gonna tell the full story?
I'm gonna tell up to where it starts getting really bad, because then it's just like drama and it's not even funny. So I'm gonna tell all the good parts.
Can we give them names?
Of what? Who?
Can we tell the drama part and give them celebrity names?
Okay. We can do that, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Okay, so, I do a bunch of mushrooms one night out at, my cousin Josh's house, and, we, were drinking, like, there was a bunch, like, it wasn't just us hanging out there. It was like, you were there.
Yeah.
It was a bunch of his family and like his dad's cousins and his brother and all this stuff. And I was trying to think. I was going to say if we were going to call him names yet. I guess we'll leave that for him a little bit later.
Yeah.
But we were. It was me and Josh and Rachel and Christian who did the shrooms.
Yeah.
And you, Jake, and Mikey were there, and y'all were just drinking.
Me and Mikey showed up while you were on shrooms.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
we
did?
We were at the metal show for a bit, and then we wanted to see this band play, and then we were like, all right, then we're going to go out. And so we did that, and we show up, and that night, okay, yeah, so Cheney was with us, and he was like, told Mikey something that made it to where, like, I think it was a bet or something, but pretty much Cheney ended up buying us, like, 12 bottles of Big Blue. And so we show up with 12 bottles of Big Blue, and we hand you one.
Yeah.
And you're on shrooms, and that started it.
Yeah, I had that bottle for a long, long time. I think before y'all had got there, I was holding on to my beers for a long time, and at like one point I was out because like there was a lot of people out front hanging out and talking, and then there was like a lot of people out back where all the beers and the ice chests were, and so like at one point I was all up front, like up there with people, and when I had gotten a new beer, I had grabbed another one, so when I was done with this one, I was just going to open this one up and drink it. But I held on to that first beer for so long that this beer got really warm. And so, like, I finished the first beer, and I was like, this is warm. So I go back to the ice chest, I throw that one in there, and I grab a cold one. And, I think I had that one for fucking ever. And then y'all show up and gave me the Big Blue. And I held onto that for fucking the whole night.
Rachel took it away from you. Remember?
Yeah, at one point we, because Josh and Rachel just went, like, as soon as it, like, kind of started kicking in, they just went to his bedroom and stayed there. And, I was out talking to everybody, and, like, I think everybody just thought I was really drunk already. Mm-hmm. Like, they thought I was just super drunk. And at one point we were like, let's go fucking find Josh and Rachel. Let's go talk to them. And so we go into the house, and we go into Josh's room, and they're just in there in the fucking dark by themselves, just tripping. Mm-hmm. And we start talking to them, and, like, Rachel was like, I'm thirsty. Does somebody have something to drink that's not beer? And I was like, I got this Big Blue. And she was like, can I see it? She's like, yeah. And she took a drink. And I forgot about it at first, and she just sat there and held it. And then, like, I think, like, 10 minutes went by. Mm-hmm. And then I just, like, out of nowhere, I was like, huh? Where's my... I was holding something. Like, where was it? Where is it? And I look, like, I just, like turned my head real quick and look, and she's holding my Big Blue, and I was like, that's mine! And I grabbed it from her, and I held it. Pretty sure I called it, like, my precious, like, 5 times that night. And, but, like, we were just tripping in there, and, and it was a crazy night, just tripping on mushrooms. When we're in there talking to him, and I got my Big Blue back, mm-hmm. That's when shit hit the fan. Because Arnold Schwarzenegger is talking all kinds of mad shit to Kurt Russell.
That is perfect.
And Kurt Russell has his brother, Bruce Willis, there. And, you know, they're posse and everything.
Yeah.
And Jake, his brother is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he is talking all this shit. Was talking all this shit to Kurt Russell.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, Bruce Willis and all their posse had eventually gone over there. And, like, shit just... Because we weren't out there, so I don't know how it started.
Yeah.
But Carson had just run into the bedroom, you know, and yelled, Arnold Schwarzenegger's fighting Kurt Russell. And we're like, what? And so we fucking get up and run outside. And sure enough, they're out there fighting. And they're like, oh, there's another guy. There's a third guy with Bruce Willis and Kurt Russell. Harrison Ford was there too. I forgot. But like, Harrison Ford and Kurt Russell were like in the back of Arnold Schwarzenegger's truck beating the crap out of him.
Mm-hmm.
Because apparently Arnold Schwarzenegger was going for his gun or something.
Yeah.
Like, really. And Bruce Willis has Arnold Schwarzenegger's brother in a headlock. Just down there. And so I run up and like, I'm tripping on mushrooms. And I like run up and it's like, I'm like, Bruce, it's Tanner. I was like, you know me, I'm not doing anything, but you need to let him go. You need to get him out of a headlock. Because, you know, Bruce Willis he's a pretty big dude.
Yeah.
He's sitting there crushing him with this, like, you know, choking him. And I'm like, you need to let him go. And he lets him go. And as soon as he lets him go, he just climbs in the back of the truck and starts whooping up on Arnold Schwarzenegger, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, like, they get him off. Kurt Russell's wife's like, get out, all this stuff. And, like, they get down, and Arnold Schwarzenegger fucking gets into his truck and hauls ass away. And I was just tripping on mushrooms, and I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. You're just holding the big blue.
I had a big blue the whole time.
Well, whenever Arnold Schwarzenegger was choking out our friend, Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis was choking out.
Yeah, when Bruce Willis was choking out our friend, Mikey, you know, ran up on the truck, and like I got up on the truck right behind Mikey, and you know, Mikey's like, that's you know, so and so, don't let this happen. What are you doing? And then Bruce Willis just hits Mikey, and Mikey goes into me, and we both just fall off.
Dude, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And yeah, because Bruce Willis was a drunk man that night.
Yes, he was.
And I was staring him dead in the face.
And you were like, Bruce Willis.
And I was tripping on mushrooms. I'm tripping. He's drunk. And I'm just like, dude, you gotta quit. I don't know if I, like, hit something with him or he was just like, okay, I'm done with this. Like, I don't know what it was, but he let go.
Yeah. God, it's just such a crazy time.
Yeah, that night was crazy. And then afterwards, everyone's talking, like, you know, about what happened, of course, and everything. And I'm just like, I just want to trip. I think I want to go swim.
Did we go swimming that night?
I think we did when everybody eventually left.
Yeah.
Because we did, because I was just like, oh my God.
And then we immediately regretted it.
Yeah, because when we got out, it was freezing.
Yeah.
Not our brightest idea. But then again, me being tripped out on mushrooms and trying to get a drunk man to let go of someone, it's not the brightest idea either, but...
Hey, man, you apparently did
I
better.
sprung into action.
You apparently did better than I did on mushrooms.
Yeah, apparently you sat in a corner with a glow stick by yourself and was a weirdo.
No, let's talk about the full situation that was happening.
Okay.
So I'm doing shrooms, you know, for like my first time and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, shrooms, cool, this is fun, with my friends, with Jake and Joseph and Jose.
Joe and Joe.
Joe and Joe. Jose and Jose. Joseph and Joseph.
Jose and Joseph.
Josephine and Josephine. Josephine's Josephette.
Fuck.
But yeah, so we're all doing shrooms, you know, and like the thing is about them is they love techno music. You know, nothing against that and stuff, but it's not what I want to hear whenever I'm tripping. And there was times where, like, they would play like Beatles and stuff, and I'd be like, "This is chill.
Yeah.
This is tight. Let's keep this going." And they'd be like, "No, let's turn on some techno, and you lie down, and you start letting us put some glow sticks in your face really fast." And I was like, "I don't want that. I don't like this at all." And I let them do it forever, and then, like, Jake gave me his jacket, and it was a big furry jacket. So I just went under it, had one lone glow stick, and I just sat there with it. And I just wanted to be alone. I couldn't hear the music. Like, I mean, I could, but, like, I was, like, zoning out. And I was just, like, in a cave. And I was like, I'm comfortable. Like, it felt like a womb.
Maybe you were inside the womb?
Yeah, maybe I had mommy issues. I don't know.
Who knows, man?
But yeah, and then I feel the cave come out, and I'm just like, because, like, they just lifted off, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I was like, I don't want to do anything that y'all are doing. And so I just go in this corner, and I just stood there and just looked at this glow stick and just kind of twirled it around. I was like, this is calming. And then I'd turn around, and they're all just dancing their fucking asses off, and I was like, God, y'all are scaring me. And at one point, I might have said, guys, I honestly can't feel my dick right now. I honestly couldn't feel my dick right now.
Guys, I honestly can't feel my dick right now.
And
just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, because I couldn't, and I just wanted... Maybe they couldn't feel their dicks.
That's a dire situation, dude.
Yeah, like I knew I had a dick. I wasn't sure if it was there. And I wasn't about to touch it. Mm-hmm. But I had to make sure everyone else's dicks were not there.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I mean, I think it makes tons of sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
What? Are you judging?
No.
I didn't think so.
I'm not.
Okay, that's good.
I promise.
That's good. That's good.
Cool.
That's good. All right. We're going to be wrapping up here now.
Yeah.
You got anything to plug?
I don't know. What do you want me to say?
What do you got to plug?
I mean, obviously, you know, like we said earlier, rest in peace, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah.
That sucks. Oh, and the Super Bowl was today.
Yes.
And all I gotta say is poor different Broncos.
Oh my God. Super Bowl was an upset. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care for either team, really, but it was just a boring game.
Yeah. Seahawks fucking were badass, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
it was boring because the Broncos didn't make it interesting, you know, so.
Yeah. Alright, what I'm going to plug is I'm going to plug to you an idea. This was pretty fun, and, like, I love doing Geekers and stuff, but we are a network. Mm-hmm. So you want to say that this is kind of like the pilot episode for something where me and you just sit around and bullshit?
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we'll talk about things, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is the pilot for another one that's coming out. And what's it called, Tanner?
Don't put your dick in my socks.
Don't put your... No.
I don't know, dude. You can't put me on the spot like that and not let me...
Well, I want to call it that now, but I don't think iTunes would let us.
Okay, I meant you can't put me on the spot like that.
I mean, no. Come up with whatever you feel is natural, but no cuss words.
Cherry Poptart Hour?
Cherry Poptart Hour. All right. So this is the pilot episode to Cherry Poptart Hour from the Geekers Network. And look for more of that coming soon.
We might change the name. God.
No, it's Cherry Poptart Hour. We're not changing the name.
Okay.
Cherry Poptart Hour.
Okay.
Alright, and then, yeah, so that's coming. More podcasts are coming from other people. It's going to be a good old time.
Good old time.
Good old time. Website's coming soon.
Fun days ahead.
Tanner,
website's coming soon.
Tanner's going to film stuff soon.
Soon.
Tanner's going to host his own show.
What?
Yeah. I'm putting you on the spot, so you have to.
Host what kind of show?
You just, I don't know, you film something and put it on YouTube.
What?
Yeah, it's for you to decide.
Can I film ducks shitting?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay, then.
But you have to have, like, an intro saying, like, hi, I'm Tanner. And then, you know, like, bye, I'm Tanner.
These are ducks shitting.
Yeah.
For a good 4 minutes.
That is actually fine with me, as long as we get some content on the YouTube.
I mean, I'm sure someone's gonna be mad or cool with it. Either one.
I mean, whatever gets people coming to the YouTube, because right now we only have the podcast there.
Yeah.
And, you know, you can listen to it there if you want. That's fucking fine with me. But I would like you to subscribe if you can.
Yeah, if you're going to listen to it on YouTube, try to subscribe, please.
Subscribe to YouTube, subscribe to the iTunes. And, you know, just, if you can, if you like this, spread this out as much as possible.
Please.
Be a friend to us as we're being a friend to you and giving you free content.
Free. Because if we made it money, I don't think it would sell.
Nope. Not at all. And you know what? I've had to pay for shit. For this.
It sucks.
It sucks. But I love you. So help us and spread out.
And I hope you liked at least one or two of our stories today.
Yeah, and you know, we'll be back with a guest next time, and we'll talk about more movie news and stuff, and then expect Cherry Poptart Hour coming out.
Yeah. We might throw guests in that every once in a while, too.
Who gives a fuck?
Okay. Not me.
Not me. Alright, so this has been Geekers Podcast for today. I'm Dustin Cernock.
I'm Tanner Battenfield.
And remember, we're more geekers than you.
Geeker than you.
And we don't like you.
We hate you.
We take back everything we said. We don't want you to spread our podcast out.
Yeah.
And, you know, just...
If you do, I'll tap my balls on your face.
Die on a